Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Innovation Mindset powered by the Moran College of Entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Menno Manfredini, and today in studio we have two FSU students, Hugo and Ryan. Say hello, guys.
Hey everyone. Hey.
So Hugo and Ryan are both FSU students. Hugo is actually majoring in STEM entrepreneurship and Ryan is majoring in computer science, and they're both competing in the innovation mindset. Why don't you guys start us off by, with some background and telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, definitely. So I can jump in first. First off, thanks so much for having us here. We're super excited. So my name's Hugo Davies. I'm a STEM entrepreneurship student here at FSU. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, though. Growing up, I always had kind of a knack with building things, creating new stuff, whether it was going door to door, selling trash bags as a kid in elementary school, or going to hackathons and robo boot camps over the summer. I always wanted to build something cool, create something. And in high school, I wanted to take that passion more seriously. And I took the initiative to reach out to really any company and try to become a student intern just for free to learn more knowledge about technology and business. And I ended up interning at a commercial real estate brokerage as well as at a data analytics company. And I learned a ton of cool stuff, but really decided that wasn't the path I wanted to take professionally. And I ended up founding my own company in the real estate sector called Growth and Progress Realty. I was part of the HSF Fellows Gap Year program here at FSU. And during that time was able to scale my business to around $70,000. And it was a great time. And I really learned a ton and then tried to scale it nationwide and really failed and also learned a ton. And it was something that I really was able to grow from. Then I came to FSU, was part of the first year abroad study program, studied abroad in Spain and Italy. And now I'm here on campus and working on some new ideas. So really excited to build some new ideas. And next summer I'll be interning in San Francisco at Salesforce. So kind of excited to mesh all my knowledge together to create something cool and impact the world.
That's awesome. What about you, Ryan?
I grew up in Clearwater. I went to a Catholic school and I got accepted into FSU. I started as a biology major, but I kind of realized that that wasn't really for me. I was really into creating new ideas and just building things. So that led me to tinker around with like building websites in computer science. And I learned some basic HTML, CSS, and I liked it a lot. It was really fun. So that led me to actually switch my major. Then I started building some side projects. I recruited some friends and we built a college roommate finding platform. And we hit 5,000 downloads a year ago. And I'm pretty proud of that. And then I was able to secure an internship at a cybersecurity company. I got to work on some pretty cool things, HSMs, some encryption for banks. And then now I'm just working on some new ideas, trying to build mobile apps and AI utility things.
Well, that's awesome, guys. So considering the fact that you guys have a bunch of different backgrounds and you guys, my understanding, you guys are partners in a current project that you guys are pitching in the Innovation Challenge. How'd you guys meet and how'd you guys decide that you guys would be really good partners?
Yeah, so we actually met here on campus at the Collegiate Entrepreneurs Organization, which I'm the president of. Shout out to students if you guys want to join. It's a great way to find entrepreneurs on campus and people from all different majors. So Brian was someone who ended up coming to one of the meetings and we ended up meeting each other there. And we talked about different things that we were building in our skill sets. And we really saw that we each had kind of this inverse skill set. Myself personally, someone who's really focused on the business side and really developing what product market fit is, what's going to actually succeed in the marketplace. And Ryan can talk more about his skill set, but as someone who's technically advanced, is a great developer and has experience working with mobile app development, I thought that was a really cool thing and something that I personally don't have that skill set of, but want to expand into that sector. So I said, hey, let's team up. Let's see if there's an idea that we can find. And he ended up pitching me the idea of Bebop. So if you want to talk more about how we met, what Bebop is.
Yeah. I actually went to the Collegiate Organization of Entrepreneurs to look for people that were kind of well-versed in business. I had experience developing mobile apps and growing them too. So TikTok viral, social media marketing mostly. And I was looking for someone that could, just had the business knowledge and was someone that could recruit. And him being a president of a club, I thought that was a perfect fit. So I just kind of showed him what I was building, and it was just extremely natural. And I think it was a very lucky thing that we were able to find each other and start working on this really cool idea.
No, that's really cool, especially that you guys were able to meet each other at such a cool organization, especially on FSU campus. But you guys are saying you guys are working on a project called Bebop. Can you guys tell me a little bit more about that?
When I try to listen to music, and I think that a lot of people also have this issue, um, a lot of people don't know what music to even listen to or what they like, or they just struggle finding artists. And right now, it's music is being pushed by Spotify algorithms, and it's being pushed by big record labels, and things that people don't really like or even want to hear is getting popular and being pushed. So I came up with this idea that you just type in whatever you want to listen to, or whatever occasion you're at. Like you could say, I'm studying, and it will recommend you the perfect music based on what your friends listen to and what you like from your Spotify Wrapped or your streaming providers, your history. So yeah, really just trying to allow people to find their favorite songs easier instead of just searching and skipping. It just doesn't work right now. It's too frustrating.
Yeah, of course. Hugo, do you have anything to add about Bebop?
Yeah, definitely. So Bebop is something that Ryan originally pitched to me kind of with this background of us both having this common connection of music. So for some background, I grew up playing viola and was kind of a classical music buff growing up. Played all throughout elementary school and middle school and high school, and then still play to this day. Unfortunately, not in an orchestra, but maybe want to join in the future. But I've always kind of had this problem of where's my next song? How can I find my next music? And previously in the past, I found it mostly from friends and family, people who I trusted, who we had similar shared interests, similar values. And when they would recommend me something, I was like, oh, wow, this is an awesome song, add it to my playlist, and it would slowly become my next favorite song. But I started to realize that maybe that's not the most effective way. And maybe we can try and optimize that so people can find their favorite song faster, easier, and more effectively, and also in a way that's a little bit more fun. I know as someone, when I look for new music, maybe I'm going on Spotify, maybe I'm going on YouTube and trying to find something that's getting recommended to me that I like, or maybe I'm searching up keywords of, hey, I want something hype for this workout I'm about to do, or hey, I'm studying, give me a chill song. I always found that I was getting recommendations that were pretty bad, and it was honestly stuff that I wasn't really interested in. But it seems like that's a problem that we could really solve. So we teamed up and really created Bebop as this idea of implementing both your friends' listening history, but also your personal past, and adding this artificial intelligence tool on it that's trained on specific data of both your friends' history, but also your personal like songs, what songs are on your playlist. And it will take that all into account when recommending you a playlist or a song. And we want to really give that to our users in a bunch of different ways, but we're really focusing right now on an AI powered search feature for our users to be able to find their next song in the easiest, fastest, and honestly the most fun way possible.
That sounds great. It seems like you guys are really far in advance, researching how you're going to make this possible. You guys had mentioned that this is a problem for you. So is this going to be an app that you're going to market usually for a bunch of college students, or are you guys down to like open to other demographics as well?
This app is for anybody that struggles to find music. Anybody that struggles to find music at all, or that wants to discover new music and new songs to listen to. I think that this is the app for them. I think that this is something that they would want to use.
Yeah, definitely. I think we really want to focus in on this user segment of music lovers. I think there's this top 1% of people who are listening to music every day, all the time, and it's really what's their backbone in life. I know myself and a lot of people, especially on college campuses, you see them walking around, they have their headphones in. It's like there's a song that's always playing in my head in the background. And if I could make sure that that song is going to be the best song with the most meaningful impact to myself or whoever's listening to this music, then I think we can really create something that's going to be really cool and change the world in a better way.
Of course. So there's a lot of apps that are being built right now. How do you guys plan on maybe marketing it to these people? Or do you guys plan on doing social media marketing? I know, Ryan, you said that you have a little bit of knowledge on that. Is that what platform you guys would be using to market this app?
I think that we will start primarily on TikTok because I see that TikTok has, from my experience, the biggest viral spurts, the most impressions, kind of randomly you're able to get by putting in a lot of content. So posting like 4 to 6 videos a day on several accounts will kind of maximize your probability of going viral. And with a couple million impressions, I think that we'll be able to grow to a high user count because it is a product that people do want to use and it does solve a real problem. So I think that just getting it out there, getting the impressions, I think 10 million impressions is a good goal off the bat in the first 1 to 2 months off launch. I think that would put us in a great position.
We're looking to push this a lot through social media. Like Ryan had said, TikTok with short form content emerging, we're really looking to capitalize on that. So TikTok in particular, just because of their recommendation algorithm, really pushing organic growth, but also then looking to use an existing fan base from TikTok to then leverage YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and really just increasing our social media presence. And how we really want to do that is both with user generated content from people like us, but also people who are interested in the idea and really are passionate about finding new music, changing the way people listen to music around the world. We're looking to bring on brand ambassadors. So if people are watching this, if you listen to Bebop, if you listen to music and you think Bebop is something that you would be interested in, think it's a cool product and you like tech and you're interested in marketing, we might have a couple potential roles that are opening up.
Yeah, I think the idea of actually having brand ambassadors is really smart. Have people actually advertise it on their own platforms, really a good way to get some recognition. But I kind of want to move back and talk about the innovation challenge. So, how has that been going for you guys? Have you guys already pitched, or are you guys just in the process of applying?
Yeah, so we're still in the process of applying right now. We just finished up the first round. So we made it past the first cutoff, and now we're in the second round that'll really take place starting in the spring semester. So we'd applied earlier this semester in September or October. We ended up applying, creating a business model plan, identifying what users we want to focus on, how we're really going to provide value to them, and then what our revenue streams would be after gaining a user base. I've really loved competing in the Innovation Challenge last year with a previous startup of mine. It was a great learning experience to understand what products are going to work in the market. Getting mentorship from professors and community members is something that I really find extremely valuable and helps me develop both as a startup with Bebop, but also professionally as an individual.
So I know applying for that can be a little bit daunting, especially if it's like your first time. I know it's not your first time, but were there any challenges that arose like during the application or just maybe some questions where you were kind of like, let's go talk to someone? I don't really understand what this question means.
Honestly, I thought that the application process was pretty straightforward. I'd done some applications for hackathons in the past and similar programs, and I thought it was very simple, very clear. Only thing that I wasn't really sure was making a business model canvas. So that was my first time doing that. But other than that, yeah, I think it was pretty straightforward and easy to do.
Is there any advice you would give to someone that maybe is struggling, like just filling out those questions or just with a business model canvas?
I think some advice I have would be definitely reach out for help. I know this year Mei Wang is organizing the challenge and is really spearheading it. Last year also I know Caitlin Simpson worked on it, but both of those people are really strong resources in developing a business model canvas, but also really understanding what your business is, how it's going to provide value. And understanding the challenge itself. What are judges looking for? What's the correct criteria going to be? And how can you really optimize your presentation so that you're going to really give the judges what they're looking for and make sure that you're not leaving out any key details that they're really trying to make sure that they understand.
Also, sometimes people do apply with partners, and that could either hurt them or benefit them. What advice do you have for people that are having a hard time with their partners, or what are some communication strategies that you guys use to make sure that you guys are doing everything on time and all the expectations are being met?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think kind of people is like the most important part of working together and creating an idea. Is who's the people really building it. And I think for us, what's really going to be the difference maker and having kind of this organized, cohesive plan, both with the innovation challenge, but outside of that as well, is really having defined characteristics of what people are working on, how different roles are going to be split up, And then also being clear and really honest on expectations in terms of what's the end result going to look like, and then what are going to be the steps that are actually going to get us there in terms of what's a long-term feature that we want to implement, or what's a long-term goal, and really breaking that down backwards to what's the MVP that we're going to launch like next week to really help get us there and build us towards that long-term goal that we're building to.
Yes. And I would say that another piece of advice is, if you're looking for a co-founder, it's really important to find someone that complements your skill set and that can do kind of the jobs that you don't want to do, or that you don't have the aptitude for. And also, I think it's really important to look for someone that's in it for the long run, because these things are marathons. It's kind of a maze, and you're just looking for a way through, and that's the only way out. It's through. So you have to find someone that's in it to run the marathon with you.
That is some great advice. You guys, Hugo, you actually mentioned that you and Ryan talked about some long-term goals and short-term goals. What are these goals, especially if you do win the monetary prize that I'm pretty sure is $10,000? What do you guys plan on doing with that money? And yeah, what are just the goals in general?
Yeah, so we plan on splitting that money up in a few different ways, but really with kind of the centered goal of growth of the business. So first off, what we want to spend a lot of that money in is kind of towards app development, making sure that we have the strongest technical product possible, whether that's adding new developers, engineers, or just making sure that we put as much time and effort possible in making sure that we have an app that's operating functionally and is providing our users the value that we really want to give them. And then on the other hand, we want to use some of that money to increase marketing expenses and really get user acquisition. As a startup, getting users is a huge problem, and it's something that seems really daunting. So we want to make sure that we're allocating enough funds to really tackle that problem and solve it in the most effective way possible, whether it's bringing on more brand ambassadors, paying for UGC content, or going to specific influencers and getting kind of one-off deals or sponsorship deals with people that we're really interested in and are passionate about our vision.
You guys said that you guys want to spend some money on app development. What are some common issues that you see that go wrong in apps that you guys are trying to, strain away from?
There's a
I
lot.
think I've seen apps kind of get killed by this, a buggy onboarding process. I think that really stops user acquisition, and especially in an app that has social features and that kind of relies on network effects. If you aren't onboarding users efficiently, I think that'll really stunt the growth of your app. And also, the product needs to be remarkable. It needs to do exactly what we're selling. It needs to work. And I think that release before that is not possible. I think that it needs to be a remarkable product. And I think it will be. I'm pretty confident it will be.
That is great to hear. So, of course, you guys are going to have some UGC content creators that you're going to work with, influencers. Do you guys have anyone in mind that you think it'd be really cool to maybe have a partnership with, whether that's like a DJ or just like an influencer, or just someone in the music business that you would love to work with?
I think that our primary focus is real people, real kids, real music lovers, real people that would post and show off that, hey, this is my music, this is my identity, and this is what I want to share with the world, and this is how I find music. It's less about socializing and the people and more about listening. It's really about the music and finding, what's best for the user to listen to.
Yeah, we really want to focus on this organic growth and community-based growth. We want it to be an app where you open it and you feel like you're listening to music with your friends. You feel like you open in the app and you're able to listen to the next best song that your friend was about to recommend you, that he didn't quite send you yet, but if you waited a day, he was about to message it to you, but you got it the day before. We want to create that feeling where people open the app and they're excited to listen to music. They open it and it's like, oh, wow, what's my next song going to be? What are they going to recommend me? What is Bebop thinking I want to listen to while I'm studying, or while I'm hanging out with my friends, or while I'm pre-gaming to go out? It's what's Bebop think is my next step. And I think that creating that feeling and giving that emotion to our users is going to be where we really see that organic community-led growth. When people see the success in the app, want to share that with their friends, or they see the success and they post on their story, hey, I just found this new song from Bebop. Has anyone else heard it? So we really want to focus on that before we want to go and breach out into, hey, what famous musicians are also interested in this? But maybe down the line, that's something we'd be interested in.
Also, I was kind of wondering, like, you guys are already convincing me, to get this app. I want music that's tailored to my interests. But something that I use every day is my Spotify DJ.
Yeah.
What is something that makes you guys stand apart from Spotify DJ?
I think a massive problem, at least for searching for what music I want to listen to, is context. I don't listen to the same music I listen to when I'm working out or when I'm studying or when I'm going on a hike or I'm hanging with friends. It's all different. It's completely different. So I think that you need to have a platform that accepts some sort of context, and I can tell it, hey, I am doing this activity, and then it starts giving me options, and then it'll show me it'll really curate music for me instead of me having to look through a sea of albums and playlists and try things out and skip and stop. And it's frustrating. Doesn't work right now.
Yeah, I think what really differentiates us from both Spotify as a platform as a whole, but also specific features like DJ, or I know they just released a beta of their AI playlist, is kind of this sense of personalization and customization that we're giving our users. And the way we really provide that is by having an underlying AI model that's trained on their specific listening history, kind of from your music streaming app, whether it's Spotify or Apple Music. We're looking at the like songs that you have, the playlists that you've created, and taking that all into account when you prompt it with, hey, I'm working out and want a playlist. And then we're also adding a side of friends customization. We're not only training this model off of what you were listening to and what your previous history was, but also what your friend's history was and what your peers are listening to and how that's kind of impacting your specific listening history, but also your listening future. And then we take that all into account and provide our users with the most accurate recommendation that they could get really from any other platform, and gives them that ability to find the next song that they're looking to and really find their next favorite song.
And I also want to add one more reason why we're different than Spotify is Spotify right now pushes what the labels are marketing, right? I feel like everyone listens to kind of that top 100 and everyone stays within those bounds, or top 100 of the 90s, of the 2000s. And a lot of good quality music kind of gets pushed aside. So by adding social features and tracking users' engagement, what we want to do is we want to allow viral songs and songs to rise just because people listen to it. So kind of like TikTok has viral content, and you're able to see good content that might not be from a popular person. We want good songs from maybe people that aren't so popular. So we really just want to prioritize the highest quality music and give that to our users instead of something that's hyped or top 100 or marketed. That's kind of how we're disrupting music culture and bringing the highest level of quality.
Yeah, that's definitely a really good point, because I know as someone who loves music, I'm often getting pushed the same couple of songs by Spotify. I'm not really sure what's going on in the back end, if they paid Spotify some big deal, or if there's like a record label that has a partnership with Spotify and pushes their artists. But I definitely always feel that I'm getting recommended the wrong songs, or I'm getting recommended songs that I'm personally not interested in. And I know there's music out there that I love because my friends show it to me. I just can't find it myself. And being able to kind of take that organic nature and really implementing that into listening music and music streaming itself is something that I'm really excited about. And I think there's definitely a hole in the market there.
I think these are amazing features. I personally use Spotify, but sometimes I'll be studying and my DJ will just throw like some reggaeton. And I'm like, that is definitely not the vibe. And also, Spotify does have those playlists where they're like study day or whatever, but they're not really tailored for you. They're just that one generic study playlist that everyone's listening to. So it's really good about that. Also, the more I hear about this is I'm realizing that it's really going to benefit, us as like college students and just everyone in general that's struggling finding really good music. But it's also going to really help some artists that are not getting a lot of recognition. Is that something you guys were going into it like to like a problem to also help? Or is this just something you were like, oh, this could help an artist in that way too?
100%.
Definitely. I think that's definitely something we were looking at, especially with like what we were talking about of record labels pushing their own artists and independent artists really struggling to find their own way to get able to promote their sound to new listeners and to find new people. And I think with the age of social media, we're starting to see that with people using their new songs kind of in the backgrounds of Instagram reels or TikTok videos. And you see them blowing up like that. And then people start to transition to a streaming platform and listen to it to the streaming platform. And our goal is to kind of cut out that need to switch platforms where people can, if you're looking for a new song, you don't have to scroll through TikTok videos to find a cool background video. Instead, you can just open up Bebop and find your next favorite song there and stream it directly through the app and not have to kind of switch different platforms to try and find something that you're interested in. And like you said, that really benefits these artists who are struggling to promote their music and want to find somewhere where they can get a new listener base and find a new audience. So we really want to help them too, because independent artists are oftentimes the most talented artists, and they just aren't given that recognition by the industry or by kind of money that's backing them. So we hope to kind of make this an organic and community-led growth.
That is an amazing idea, guys. And I also want to say that I wish you the best of luck in the Innovation Challenge. I'm sure Bebop is going to do amazing. And I also want to thank you guys for coming on the podcast. Is there anything else you guys want to add? Maybe some self-promo for the app or anything you want to tell before we end this episode?
Yeah, some promo. We're looking to launch right now, January 31st. Stay up to date with both of us, the Innovation Challenge, and see how we do. If you're interested in being a brand ambassador or interested in kind of a promotional role, feel free to reach out, and we'll also be looking out for people and posting more about that as our launch date starts to get closer and closer.
And I want to also add that we're looking for early adopters and beta testers. So we'll kind of create a small exclusive group that allows early access to some people, maybe a wait list. So
Only for real music lovers.
yeah, only for real music lovers. So if you're interested in that, definitely let us know.
Well, thank you guys on coming on to another episode of the Innovation Mindset powered by the Moran College of Entrepreneurship. If you like this episode, please feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you.